All right. Thanks everyone for joining us on time for today's webinar. And today's webinar, of course, is timed very well because we've all seen all of you write the CAT exam beautifully. And I hope all of you performed really well or are ready to take and embrace the next step, which is going to be how do you decide what is the next step in your academic journey? And what better than having this careers rendezvous with one very special guest of honor that we've got. He is a veteran. Salman sir has led a legacy team. He's been leading the career engagement here at Soil as well for 3 years right now, also taking care of the corporate relations and the corporate training. So a person both well versed to help us understand that how can we unpack and unravel our career journey. And of course, along with Salman sir, we've been joined by 2 current PGPM students, Akshat Dikshit and Akriti Singh as well. So over to all 3 of you. Sir, starting from you, I'll let you spearhead the conversation. Please help us understand and decode the jobs of today, the jobs of the future, especially for an aspirant who's wanting to join this entire huddle. How can they just sail through? So your sane advice, especially when we're talking about the tech-enabled world, the ABCDE, the AI, the biotechnology or the biotech that's coming in, or the crypto, bitcoins, or when we're talking about drones and robotics and energy renewables. So please help us understand that, what does the new job market look like? How can anyone traverse? And of course, first, very quickly, your introduction as well, sir. Over to you.
Oh, thank you very much, Nirja. So it's a pleasure to be here in the midst of this audience. And over the next hour or so, we shall attempt to, as Nirja rightly put it, unravel this entire process of you joining a program which will help you further your careers. To introduce myself, I carry nearly 30 plus years of experience in the industry, largely in information technology. I was a senior vice president with HCL towards the end of my tenure and handling multiple businesses. Always had a very deep fascination for education. Therefore, when this opportunity to transition into this role came in, I took it up very readily. The past 6 years or so at Soil has been an absolute breeze for me. Besides the role that Nirja just highlighted, which is helping students find a better career for themselves, maintaining our corporate relations, ensuring that our students get the right level of training and also orientation for the career journeys that they're going to embark on. Besides this, I'm also handling our executive education practice and our consulting practice in my current role. So it's a pleasure to be talking to all of you today. Please, we want this to be interactive, but I don't know if you can actually ask questions while we are speaking. Therefore, you can type them either into the chat box or otherwise raise your hand. Whichever way, it works better. Type your questions preferably so that we can get to all of them together. And my 2 dear colleagues on the panel today, Akriti and Akshat, who are current students of the PGPM 1-year batch will, I'm sure, be able to add a lot of value to what I say over the next few minutes, and also help you with a lot of the queries that may be there on your mind. So the primary objective for us will be to address your issues, queries, concerns as far as choice of program, particularly keeping the careers aspect in mind, is concerned. So that is what we are going to be trying to do. So to start with, for all those of you who are planning to embark on this business management education journey, what I would like to say is there should be a clear thought process in your mind already, I'm sure, about what is it that you would like to be doing. So if I'm to talk about the typical, and my effort here will not be to present soil as an institution, but I'm really looking at it more from a generic careers angle. So if I'm to look at the typical profile of people who come into this 1-year program, you would typically be in the anywhere from the 2 to 6 or 2 to 7 years experience bracket in industry, which means you've already had an exposure to corporate life. You could be coming from a diverse segment of industry, anything from information technology to e-commerce to retail to manufacturing, banking and finance, any number of industries. You could be in any of them currently, looking to not just enhance your career, but to give your career a lot more meaning than what it has today. And when I say that, I don't mean to belittle anything that you may be doing currently. We get a lot of students, for instance, with multiple number of years in the IT industry who've been doing very effective jobs like software development, maintenance. They've been supporting large customers globally. I'm just taking that as an example. There are any number of profiles we get. I'm just taking IT as an example. And what these students typically come to us for is, number one, first and foremost, get a stronger understanding of the entire landscape of business. Because in your current roles, a lot of you may have had exposure only to one facet, which is the area that you're working in. And this is not just in IT. It could be even if you're selling insurance currently, or you're working in HR as a talent acquisition specialist, but you would be having exposure largely in one or maybe two segments. What this 1-year program attempts to do is give you a strong all-round exposure to business, which means every single aspect of it, from finance to human resource management to sales and marketing to operations, all of these. And the program also attempts to give you exposure in the key cutting edge areas which will help you define your career strongly. So when Nirja was doing her introduction, she referred to some of these areas. Data science is primary amongst them, which and under that ambit, I'll include everything from not just the predictive side of data science, or the decision science as we call it, but also areas like machine learning, artificial intelligence, understanding of data, big data, all of that. The reason I'm spending a bit of time on this area is because data and its analysis and its usage today defines what we do in business altogether. Which means you could be working as a specialist in HR, you could be working as a specialist in finance, but you will invariably have very strong exposure to data, number one. And number two, analysis of that data in the system will help you perform your functions better, give you that cutting edge, as we say. And by the way, it is not just about getting that cutting edge today, it has become a necessity. So therefore, the curriculum for this 1-year program is very strongly tethered to usage of data and how it basically fits into all business functions. So you'll get to understand the business concepts very well, which means in each of the areas that I just talked about. B, you will get to understand how do you perform better. And in this age of generative AI, where Chat GPT does so much of the work for us in organizations, as well as at an individual level, how do we present ourselves better and more strongly to employers? And of course, the competence that you will be gathering during the course of the 1-year program will help you become much stronger professionals when time comes for careers and placements. So that is the whole idea behind our program today. Needless to say, those of you who are interested in soil as an institution, we also stress very strongly on your development as leaders during our programs, which means how do you understand and work with areas such as sustainable development? How are you a more ethical professional? How do you bring compassion into your everyday life? Because those aspects, the EQ side, as we call it, the emotional quotient, also defines you strongly as a leader of the future. Leadership is not just about stomping your authority or saying, I have a large team behind me. No, that is not who a leader is. The reason we call ourselves the the school of inspired leadership is because leadership entails all these other aspects that I just spoke to you about. So in a nutshell, then, you will be developing your competencies, understanding all aspects of management, understanding the cutting edge areas and working in these areas so that you are a better fit in the modern day business world. And last but not the least, also ensuring that you pick up the requisite skills on the emotional side, which means things that make you a better leader, some of which I just talked about: ethics, compassion, understanding, sustainability, being better listeners, mindfulness, as we call it. So these are some of the key aspects of the learning side of the program. How do these impact your career? My answer would be very, very deeply. Each of the things that I've just referred to. So regardless of the sort of specialization that you go in for, the 1-year program will equip you to face industry better. It'll equip you to be a better team player. It'll equip you to be a better leader for the future. That is in a nutshell what our program focuses on, developing those qualities and those competencies within you. So coming to some of the specifics now, because I understand a lot of you would have questions related to the possible career choices. There are two different aspects that I would like to talk about. One is those of you who are wishing to change your stream altogether. For instance, you're working in the technical stream in an IT company today, and you want to switch to a role in marketing or a role in HR. That is one objective that you can fulfill through the program, which means a complete switch in your function in your functional domain. Number two, you can switch industries. So someone who's working very successfully in insurance or in e-commerce can shift to consulting and IT. So you can have a shift as far as your industry domain is concerned. These are two key areas that our students, develop while they are, or they carry these objectives, and the program that they join helps them to achieve these objectives. In terms of the type of roles, for each of the functional domains that we have, which is finance, human resource management, marketing, and data science and analytics, there are a number of possible roles that you can get into. I will not go into the depth of each role, but suffice it to say that these are roles which are at the cutting edge. For instance, you can easily move from being a coder or someone who's maintaining code to being someone who's a business analyst, a pre-sales consultant, a product manager, or if you're switching into an HR business partner. All of those roles come into play, depending on the choice you make as far as your specialization and your combination of electives is concerned. So therefore, depending on what you want in your life, you can pick up the requisite combination of electives and specialization accordingly, so that the program equips you to be a strong professional and ready for facing the interview selection process, which companies or corporates may have. So this is it as far as what I wanted to talk to you is concerned. I'll be very happy, after our two friends have also spoken, to answer your queries and take any questions that you may have on career choices or any other options that you may want to be exploring. So with that, I'll take a pause and invite the others to join in. Neja, please go ahead.
Definitely. Thank you so much, sir, for helping us understand the landscape. And I think you beautifully summed up the essential aspects altogether. Over to both of you, Akriti, Akshat, we'd like you also to just introduce yourself and also share your experience. Also to just quickly highlight, both of them recently got an offer from Accenture. They bagged the offer from Accenture. So over to both of you to share that experience as well, that how, Accenture was very clear that if you want to get hired, you have to be digitally literate, you have to be technologically driven. So just share overall your journey, of course, before joining Soil, and how you are already looking forward to probably starting your new work world career. So over to you, Akriti, first. We can start with you and then followed by Akshat.
Hello. Hi, ma'am. Hi, Neja, ma'am. Hello, Salman sir. Hi, Akshat. So as Salman sir said, so a bit background from my side. My name is Akriti Singh, and I am an engineer by graduation. So I completed my engineer in electronics and communication domain. And after that, I was working in the same domain, that is communication, as radio frequency engineer in MDOX. So I have an work experience of 32 months, post which I joined Soil. So the specialization at which I have joined Soil is analytics, and my minor is marketing. And as ma'am mentioned, I recently got an offer from Accenture at the role of senior analyst. That's it. Akshat, you introduce yourself, and then maybe we can take forward the questions.
Sure, Akriti, why not? Hi, Nida ma'am. Hi, sir. So let me give you a brief introduction about myself. So I carry 3 years of working experience in digital marketing and branding domain. I was primarily into logistics and warehousing industry. I was working with a startup initially, and then I moved forward to a 1,000 crore revenue company called Varuna Logistics, which is also a competitor of Delivery. So my reason of joining this Soil 1 year PGPM program was that firstly that it is a 1 year program. So yes, I can get a categorization of two-year program into a single year. And yes, the pace that I was looking for my career progression, I think if I would be on the in my corporate career at that point of time, so it would take me around 5 years down the line to reach at a growth level that I have achieved right now. So like it brings me an immense pleasure to crack Accenture along with Akriti. So I think that is all about me, and I hope we can take it forward from there.
Definitely, we can. I think there are a spate of questions also that have come. Probably we can start addressing those. There is a question that is that the 1 year PGPM is a diploma, degree, or just a certificate program. And if it is a certificate program, how would you call it as an MBA? Would anybody like to take that forward first?
I think I can take it, and then I think Salman sir can add insights to that.
Sure.
So I think this question has been taken by I just skipped the name. Who was it?
This was anonymous attendee.
Okay, anonymous attendee. So, okay. So this is the beauty of this Soils 1 year program, that this is a PGPM program. It is not an AICT approved MBA like other MBA colleges, and that comes with a practitioner based learning program. Irrespective of the point that MBA gives you degree and PGDM gives you diploma. Nowadays in corporate, the degree or diploma carries the equivalent weightage, irrespective of the fact if you have some experience or skills. So yes, as far as the technical word is concerned, that it is a certificate PGPM, but it carries a weightage lot more than an MBA or PGPM. And as far as the learning is concerned, I hope the learnings are lot more than what AICT approved programs are, because we are practitioner based college. We have guest lecturers who are already there into the industry, who are providing us with the insights, the real time figure data, everything. So I hope that brings more good to the students rather than any of the side effects. So Salman sir, if you can just take it forward from here.
Sure. So, your question is the person who's asked this question. It's a very valid, relevant question. And my response to you would be the following. Yes, we'll give you a certificate at the end of the program. It is a certificate which, while Akshat just talked about, us not having government recognition, but the critical element is that organizations in India and indeed globally recognize it. The proof of it is we have 1,500 plus alumni now. This 1 year program has been on for 14 years. This is our 15th year of operation, in fact. And these alumni are working in some of the best companies, both here and globally. There is a consortium of 32 major companies that supports the program. And this includes the like of Hindustan Unilever, Tata Steel, Infosys, Aditya Birla Group, Mahindra and Mahindra, Johnson and Johnson, SAP, you name it. And we have, all these top names in our industrial consortium. These are companies which came together to co-create Soil. So therefore, our program and its value is recognized by industry very clearly. And the very fact that we have our students serving some of the best organizations in the world, I would say, will be ample proof of that. So I hope we've answered your question. If there is anything further to add to this, we will do so as we go along. Let's take the next Nirja.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think by and large, Salman sir and Akshat, both of you have also answered Abhishek Mohan's question indirectly. So Abhishek, like they've said that, of course, the 1 year PGPM program is our flagship program. And as Salman sir rightly said, that we have an alum base of 1,500, rather, because Salman sir also heads the exec program. So we have over 5,000 alumni as we stand over here today. And of course, the 2 year PGDM program, that's an AICT approved program that we are having. And that's a 2 year MBA equivalent. Rather, when we are talking about our last webinar was about this only, that or the two-year MBA program die a silent death, as even the IIM Ahmedabad dean had talked about, because we are all trying to make sure that all of you are industry ready. Now, there's a question that is specific to what Salman sir you were talking about, that, you know, somebody asking about pivoting their career or understanding how can the careers team be of support and help. So this is Morangadam Singh, and he's asking that he works for an FMCG company as a sales executive, and he's been doing that for over 2.5 years now. Would he be eligible for the PGPM program?
The answer is absolutely yes. So there are two parts of the PGPM program. We have a PGPM which is purely focused on HR, and we have a PGPM which covers all the other domains. So you would certainly be eligible for the PGPM program. With the 2.5 years of sales experience, you'll fall in the sweet spot, as we call it, as far as our experience bracket is concerned. That is because a lot of the roles that come to soil, campus for campus hiring, are directed at students who carry prior experience in the 2 to 5 year kind of range. So you are absolutely eligible, yes.
There's also a question that Tanya is asking. She wants to ask that for the PGPM finance specialization, what are the various career aspects that one could look at, especially when we're talking about today's fintech world? Salman sir, would you help us understand that? And of course, both of you can also take it up. Akshat, Akriti, sharing your respective peers' experience in the domain of finance. So, sir, over to you first.
Sure. So as far as finance is concerned, we cover our curriculum covers not just the core finance and the basics that you need to understand, but we strongly focus also on fintech and which covers a lot of these cutting edge areas. I think some of which Nija talked about earlier when she was introducing the webinar. So typically we get roles which include business domain expertise in finance across major companies. We also get a few roles which are very specific to finance in areas like investment and equity and derivatives, etc. But by and large, whatever career objectives you may have as a finance professional, you should be able to meet those through our program, the 1 year program in finance that we offer.
Absolutely. Akriti and Akshat, would you like to add something? Okay. There is a... Yeah, please go ahead.
Please go ahead.
No, please go ahead. Go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Salman sir covered pretty much of it. And I mean, not just specific to finance, I guess, with every domain, this thing is there. And I mean, whosoever is coming on board on this course should only be focused with the learning, because the placements come along. And I'm pretty much sure that soil is focused as to all around development of a particular student. So come along on board and enjoy the learning process, and the placements will come along, and in no time everybody will get placed. So more focus on the learning part. Yes.
Right. I believe your internet's a little choppy, child, but we totally get your point and your piece of advice that yes, of course, with knowledge, you will be placed eventually. Akshat, would you like to add before we proceed further with the questions?
I think Salman sir and Akriti have covered most of the points. As a student aspect, I'll just tell you, I don't have major in finance. I have majors in marketing, but yes, I have minors in finance, so I can give you a brief about what finance looks like here at Soil. So we have a different line of subject of BFSI, fintech, and all the projects that you would be doing here are majorly focusing towards the project. That just like I'll give you a context that we have created our CTC and what would be our packages or the career progression would look like in 10 or 15 years. So we have made our own portfolio as a part of security analysis and portfolio management class. So these all are some live projects that you would be availed yourself with when you come to Soil. And as far as finance is concerned, yes, the chairperson of finance, the Dr. Nitika, she is very supportive, and the main insights you would be getting about the industry are really, really wisdomful. So I think that is all.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just to quote, like, the kind of guest speaker sessions that the PGPM program has on Nikita ma'am is arranged. I remember last time when I was there last year at Soil, ma'am had arranged, the CSR Kahudra coming, talking about the fintech world, talking about the new age developments that you're able to see. Your students, like as we were speaking today, also in the SOBD campus, also people talk about Muhammad Yunus, microfinance, microcredit, understanding the people aspect, the entire planet and profit aspect as well. So I think that's where you are getting that holistic ESG knowledge of finance as well. There's a question that is coming from Abhinav Tiwari. He says, how would this one-year program help anyone who wants to become a supply chain professional? So over to, yes.
I'll answer that. So,
Yes.
Abhinav, we do not offer a specialization in supply chain management. However, there are enough courses within the program that will equip you for roles in that industry. And we have, been able to get companies that are offering those roles. However, there is no specialization that we offer as far as supply chain management. Some of these, besides basic supply chain management, you'll also learn logistics, you'll also learn project management. All of these are courses which are covered as part of the program. So I hope we have answered your question on that.
Absolutely. There's a question from Tanya Gupta, and sir, probably you can also first answer, and then we can take the opinions of both Akriti and Akshat as well. Tanya is just asking that the way that the financial world is developing, what kind of a career can somebody start if they're entering into it, and what kind of progression can they experience if they want to become a financial professional altogether? And how is the work world in the domain of finance changing? So some piece of advice over there to Tanya, sir.
So the last part I'll take up first, Tanya. The world of finance, as you would well be aware, is changing very, very rapidly. And a lot of it has to do with what we've been talking about for the past half an hour or so, which is data science becoming a very integral part of it. So a lot of the decision making, which earlier used to go on spreadsheet analysis, etc., now lends itself very well to some of these tools and processes that are covered in our finance program, as well as what each of our students go through, which will ensure that you have all the tools that you require. To answer the first part of your question in terms of career progression journey, it really depends. If you have a past background in finance, you may have a different kind of a start. Otherwise, if you are getting picked as a management trainee, there would be a certain level of induction and orientation that you go through in basic finance before you take up specialized functions, depending on which area you're getting into, whether it's investments, it's equity, it's derivatives, any of these segments that you could be getting into. A lot of roles come up in specific areas of finance as well, as I said earlier. So you really need to, based on your specific profile and your specific requirements, there would be an appropriate career choice for you in that direction. That is what I would like to say.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is a question that Saksham Kumar is asking, and the way that he's asking, of course, it's like a coincidence that we also hosted Pranav Srivastav from Renew Power, and he's asking that he's a mechanical engineer with over 60 months of experience in water treatment plant, and he has got experience in plant design, stress analysis, plant operations, and the career objective currently for Saksham is to get into top ladders when when we're talking about the energy sector, particularly renewable or oil and gas operations. And in order to achieve that, he wanted to understand that, how data analytics can help him, and how that entire journey, if in case he's applying for a program, a degree here at Soil, would help. And will he be moving in the correct direction? So Salman sir, that's his primary question also. Is he moving in the correct direction if he probably wants to just pivot and get into academics? And then would he be able to make that sort of a transition and get into the field of his choice of getting into the top ladder of energy sectors?
Saksham, my answer to you would be yes, you can. Yes, absolutely. What the program will do is, as we've been talking over the past 35 minutes or so, the program will equip you with the competencies that you need to add on to move up the ladder. And if you want to stay on in the energy domain, as you've indicated, you're already working in that space and you want to stay on in that domain, there will be options for you both through campus and as well through lateral roles that you may wish to pursue. So the basic point that I want to stress on is that all the tools and techniques that you need over and above the basic competencies, these tools and techniques, even if you're applying them to an industry like energy and power, will help you to transition into those higher roles which you have indicated in your question. Because once you understand how to work with data, once you understand the overall functioning of an organization, you are then preparing yourself for those higher roles. The reason is you are then in a position to basically understand how your organization needs to pit itself against competition. What are the other differentiated offerings that you need to do? For instance, if it's a power company that you're talking about, sustainable energy is one key area that opens up very readily these days. So how well do you understand sustainable energy? How well are you equipped to actually implement that in an organization? I'm just taking that as an example. So my brief answer to you would be absolutely yes, you can find a better and a stronger role for yourself within that same industry of energy if you pursue the program.
Absolutely. There is a very relevant question by Rahul, considering when we are talking about the fact that, marketeers are now also becoming good product managers. So Rahul is asking, sir, that when we're looking at the PGPM one-year course, do we have product management as an elective? And currently, how the placements of product management shape out?
While I do not have the details of the curriculum with me, what I can tell you categorically is that product management is certainly taught. It is certainly taught not just to our marketing students, but to the others. And then the two students who are sitting here right now will bear me out. I'll just let them add to what I'm saying. Product management is a very key area as far as career choices are concerned as well. We get roles for product management, companies coming in expecting our students to understand the entire product life cycle, and how would they, if they were to be owners of a particular product or a particular service, how would they be able to position that product and service right throughout its life cycle? So guys, you can add to it if you've studied product management already. I'm sure it is, even if you haven't done it till term 2, you will surely be doing it as you go along. But please go ahead. Akshat or Akriti?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah.
Akriti, would you like to answer this question?
Yeah, sure. I mean, yes, sir. Product management, we are going through a subject right now. And the subject in itself, as you mentioned, deals with the product life cycle as to how we can position a particular product or service in the market, and various tactics which come along with it. And as we are going through the subject, I realize product manager or roles which come along with that has huge potential in the market nowadays as well. So one good thing I'd like to mention here, not just with product management, with other subjects also, we often have people from the industry coming on board in the lectures as well, so that we can have better insight as to that particular subject and that industry, and relate what we are studying with what is going in the industry. So to answer your question, I feel product management, if you're looking into, in itself has huge potential, and soil itself is well equipped with providing the learnings of it. That's what I feel.
All right, that's exhaustive. There is a question that has been asked, and I think pretty much we are moving towards the end. There is this question that is coming in, that what is the key difference? Nikita Bhardwaj is asking this, that what is the major difference when we're talking about the 1-year MBA program and the 2-year program which Soil offers? So what is the key difference between the two?
So I'll take a stab at that. The key difference is, the 1-year program, as I said earlier, is very largely focused at students with prior work experience. That is one key difference that is there. So we have, if we are to look at our overall cohort, the average experience level would be 3 to 3.5 years. Program is largely focused there. There is the HR specialization program. We do take in students with lesser experience as well. We even take some students who are fresh out of college. But for the business a part of the program, the what we used to earlier call the business leadership program, that is largely meant for students with prior work experience, anywhere from that 2 to 7 or 2 to 8 years kind of experience bracket. The 2-year program is a PGDM program where quite a few of our students would be fresh graduates from college. We have clear differentiators in that program as well. We bring in design thinking, we bring in liberal arts, we bring in, so it's really a program which knits together on the basis of how design thinking and liberal arts can add to your journey as a management graduate. So besides the core courses in business management, they also learn problem solving and other techniques through design thinking. So I would say the key difference is in terms of the profile of student that goes into these programs. And of course, as is very obvious, in the 1-year program, it's a more difficult program, as both of my friends here will readily testify, because we are essentially trying to teach you more or less everything that you would learn in a 2-year program, except it's compressed into 1 year. So therefore, it's a more intensive program in terms of your work day. I'll let them talk about their experience as far as tests, quizzes, projects, and their normal classes routine is concerned. But what I can tell you broadly is that it's a very intensely packed program.
Absolutely.
I think I can add on to
That's
Salman sir's point. So I still remember when I was first being interviewed by ANB sir. So we were on a call and he said me that if you are able to put in your 10 to 12 hours in a day, then join this course. Else, there are many other programs that you can look for. So I thought that it was just for 1 or 2 days. But when I came to this program, so luckily that was a truth and reality for me. And to an extent that right now I am not only doing the college course studies, I was part of this ILC Inspired Leadership Conference that we are about to happen this year. And there are too many things that happens inside this college, and that is something that makes you to do many tasks at a single time, and that is what managerial people do, right? So that is what we learn here at Soil, and the cruxification of that 2 years into in a one year course has been there. So we haven't been given any kind of liberance as far as the studies are concerned. We have the same subjects as PGDM guys have. So what they study in 2 years, we used to study that in 1 year. And apart from that, there are much expectations from us as well.
Yes,
Akriti,
adding to that, I would also like to say, initially when you'll join the college, for the first 1 month, you'll really curse yourself as to why I joined the program, because it is going to be rigorous, right? That's not a joke. Right from the classes, after classes, the extra work, the project, as Akshat mentioned in B sir, he's somebody who enjoys giving you assignments or projects in the middle of the night as well, and expects you to submit it next day in the morning. But as you'll get hang of it, you start enjoying it, because now when I see myself 6 months, 7 months into the program, not only we are enjoying the academics, we are doing external work also. Like there is SIP program, there are other events also going on in the college, and we pretty much find time for everything. And that's what preparing you to be a leadership, to be a leader in future is. So get ready, leave your family aside for 1 year, and then come to the program, and then you'll enjoy it.
Good.
That's great. There's another question that has come, and that's just asking, is there any entrance exam for PGPM?
There is, we don't really call it an entrance exam. It's, we call it, STAT basically, which is our own unique test. And what that does is it covers you in terms of your psychometric profile. B, it covers your life journey, the highs and lows. Then following this, there is a situation that you have to, a simulation that you will be a part of, a business simulation. And this is followed by a personal interview with a panel. So that is how our process goes. There is no aptitude test of the normal type that you guys may have in mind, the CAT test, for instance. That is not what we believe in. We believe that there are qualities other than just your aptitude, which we need to explore when we are assessing you as a potential student of soil. I hope I've answered that question. Any other questions, Nijya?
Yes, so by and large, we've answered all, and I think Akshat has done a very good thing. Feel free, everyone, to reach out to Salman sir, Akriti, Akshat over LinkedIn. They're easily available in case if you want to continue the conversation, get their perspective, get their insights also, and understanding that, how you can. And Salman sir said a very beautiful thing at the beginning. It's just not, trying to help you out or influence you in any manner to join soil. But overall, also, I think that's how Salman sir is, that, if you want to discuss anything pertaining to your career, anything related to how you can pivot your career in any which way, they're all very happy to help you out and extend that help. So please feel free to touch base, connect with them on LinkedIn if you want to. And overall, thank you so much. But before we wrap up, I would love Salman sir, Akriti, Akshat, if all of you could just probably wrap it up. And most of the aspirants have recently just written their CAT exam. So any words of wisdom that you'd like to give as they start their professional journeys very soon?
Before we come to that, I was just going through the list of questions. There is a question that we possibly missed out, which is from Sylvania Malik. I hope I've got that pronunciation correct. Who says, in HR PGPM course, given there are freshers as well as ones with work experience, what are the chances for a fresher to get a good placement? What does it basically depend on, assuming academically the level is same? So my answer to that, Sylvania, would be that yes, there are good chances for you to be able to crack it. And the reason we have not kept a rigid experience, qualifier as far as HR is concerned is a lot of the roles that come in are designed for people who are fresh out of college. So you need not have any concerns. Yes, you would be competing perhaps with people with experience, but that is a competition that you have a very fair chance of winning as well. So you need not have a concern that how will you be able to cope with people with much more experience than you have. So I hope I've been able to address your question. I think now we are pretty much done with this slot. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So final words as well. And of course, everyone, please feel free to continue that conversation going even on LinkedIn if you want. They're all there. So anything that you'd like to just give it as the last piece of advice as they start their journeys?
No, so my only advice would be, please, I mean, you're obviously all mature enough. Please give a good thought to what you would like to be doing. This program is certainly meant for people who want to move up as far as their careers is concerned, as far as their choice of role is concerned. This program will allow you to have or exercise those choices which you were not able to exercise if you simply had a linear growth in your existing organization. So to me, it's a very sound investment of your time. This is the best time for you to be actually investing in yourself, equipping yourself with the competency as well as with the other tools and skills that are required to move up the ladder. That would be my brief advice. I'm sure you are all capable enough of deciding. So thank you very much, and thanks for the time that you've spent with us.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, can you just take one last question? Aditi Nanda is asking, how can they prepare themselves for the soil interview process, if that's possible for you to
Very
accommodate?
simple answer would be, Aditi, you don't need to have any special preparation. The psychometric test is simply designed to have you answer honestly who you are and what you are as a person. So that does not require any preparation. The other parts are all designed around your life. As I said earlier, your high points, your low points. I mean, we bring some of those out. We ask you to respond to a simulation, a business simulation. How would you respond in a specific situation? So it doesn't really require any prior, I would say, preparation or training of any sort. The way you need to prepare for a CAT exam, for instance, taking practice tests and so on and so forth. That is something you don't need to do. You'll be jolly well able to do it. And thereafter, as I said, it's followed by a personal interview, which again doesn't require. It's largely focused around you, the reason you're choosing this career or this option, and what is it that you would like to be doing in your life. What are the qualities within you that will help you to achieve it? So no need to really worry about too much of preparation for it.
Thank you so much. Akshat and Akriti, last few words before we part ways virtually.
Yeah, sure. I feel if you are planned and if you want to join the program, and one should be really be aware as to what profile or what he wants from this particular program. For example, I wanted a career switch from telecom domain to maybe a managerial profile or maybe an IT domain. So right from the time I decided to join soil, I was preparing myself for that particular profile. So there are certain things which you can start preparing from now. For example, you can work on your Excel skills, or maybe any particular tool, or maybe case studies on start reading. Very basic things which we can start today. And apart from that, everything soil provides you for your future growth. But these things you can start today and maybe join the program.
Akshat?
Yeah. So, like as you have said that many of the candidates here have recently uh, attempted their CAT, and now they are at this platform. So I just want to share one story. Like I have given CAT twice. First attempt I got 50 percentile. Second I got 82 percentile. So like telling you about this is that you in life you should always have a series of plan A, plan B, plan C. So my series of plan was that if I would be able to take a break of a year, because I was pursuing my job also. So if you are able to take a break of a year and if you can get a good college, so then you should take a year gap. So you should have a reality check with you where you are lying, and not everyone gets into IIMs, and neither IIMs are made for everyone. And so you should have your plan A, B, C ready with you, and that helps you to pave your career in a right way. That is what I think, that you should always have a plan A, B, C in your mind. So don't look for, yes, I would be looking for the best option itself. You can look for the second best alternative also. So that is something that I want to conclude myself.
Great, very well put. Thanks so much for sharing your own CAT experience. That's of course true that you need to have the plan B ready and should also be executing it, as you also learn in product management, or that's really that pivoting part or design thinking. That's really important. Thank you so much. Thanks Salman sir. Thanks Akshit. Thank you Akriti. I think it was brilliant hosting all of you. And for all the attendees, please make sure that you virtually connect with them and you keep the conversations alive and kicking. Thank you so much. And thanks Harsha for helping us bring this together. Thank you.